it's required skill to be the safety check on this vehicle. What is did I read that there's some special interface with the traffic lights that DDOT had to operate in? How does that work?
Yeah, so we have a couple different things that we're doing. So for the traffic lights, we have a vision system, a computer vision system using a camera that's actually looking out there, finding the traffic lights, understanding the state of the traffic lights, reporting that to the car, and the car behaves appropriately. The other thing that we have here in DC is we have some of these lights are instrumented with vehicle to infrastructure technology, so the traffic lights can actually talk to us. I think, Raj, how many of those do we have?
We have 6 of those lights.
6 of these lights have that capability, so we're demonstrating kind of a hybrid mode where we can do it either way. And in that case, it can tell you information about the traffic light even further in advance, even if there's a bus in front of you and you can't see the light, something like that. It's more robust, and that way it can give you more timing information. So instead of just looking to see what the state of the light is, we can also know when it's going to change next.
Oh, awesome.
So this is DSRC that the USDOT has been pushing for 15 years now.
So there's probably there's a way of programming an autonomous vehicle to actually, if it programmed out when the lights were going to change, it could like select the quickest route.
That's right.
Based on its knowledge of the lights going in the future.
That's right. And we also have some, so there's the vehicle to infrastructure, there's also vehicle to vehicle communication that this car is capable of. And so we can do...
So this has been part of the University of Michigan vehicle to vehicle effort?
So it's the same underlying technology.
I see.
And we're using essentially same vendor, same devices.
Is that something that is that across the board? Same sort of technology, same software. You're all sort of using the similar type, or are they very different? I know there's different car companies doing different things, but
so the communications technology is going to be a standard. USDOT is going to mandate that in the new vehicles, maybe 2017, 2018. But in terms of the hardware software capabilities, we are clearly ahead, working with the GM, of course. It's a highly competitive business.
So the vehicle-to-vehicle technology adds some efficiency as well. So we can have the cars talking to each other, arriving at an intersection, and maybe a futuristic intersection wouldn't have a traffic light or stop signs. The cars would just kind of modulate their speed and just miss each other. So you could get many cars through an intersection.
Well, and are we going to those roundabouts, Peter? I mean, I've seen more and more states utilizing those.
They're very efficient.
Yeah.
There's people stepping out in front of the car.
Now, what would the car? You think the car would have stopped?
Yes, if they continue to step out, yes.
That's the kind of thing that if they step out a second before you're there.
Right. Yeah, there's not much you can do.
So basically for the rides today, if I see anything that I think is even remotely
possibly dangerous,
I will just take over. We're not going to experiment with unsuspecting people here.
I also noticed where the emergency stuff.
Yeah. And I have this other control here. This is the auto manual switch. So
switch to manual.
Yeah. So if I push this down, I then have control of the car. When I twist this, it pops up and the car's doing the driving.
But you can overpower the car.
Yeah, I can push the brake anytime. I can move the steering wheel.
Like cruise control.
Yes. So we have found that this has been a very good test bed for us because we have found lots of crazy things happening here as far as the way people drive. They kind of cut you off. You have bicyclists, pedestrians doing all kinds of crazy things.
Well, I'm glad we're doing this at 11 and not 8:30.
Yeah. Well, we've been here trying it out even early in the morning around rush hour, and it's kind of crazy. One of the things that's quite dangerous is the bicyclists kind of just squeeze in between the cars.
Yeah, the bicyclists don't really follow the rules of the road.
Right. And they're pretty fast and pretty dynamic. So they can be somewhere where it's safe, and then in front of you almost instantly.
They're not a big footprint from a sensor perspective.
Yeah.
They're gonna unload here.
Oh yeah. So in the interest of time, should I just go around it?
Autonomous ready.
So in that scenario, the car won't circumvent the other car because of because of the intersection there, so it's not going to change lanes near the intersection.
You switch back from auto to manual,
right back
seamless.
to autonomous mode.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it. I mean,
Yes.
I had to actually look at the screen.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, you need to get down right now, or can you do the highway?
Peter, you all right?
I'm fine.
Yeah, that's
Give the highway.
Get them on the highway. He's the full.
Yeah. If you have time, we can continue the run. If you need me to
I'm
drop you
good.
somewhere.
So whatever you
I'm
need.
good.
Good.
Yeah, we got another. I got 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Okay, good.
And I guess what you have members lined up about every 30 minutes or
That is
something.
correct. Yes, correct. Yeah, most of the time it's just spent waiting for traffic lights to change.
I think Raj said this on our behalf, but I want to personally thank you for everything you've done to set this up.
Sure, this is great that you're coming down here. So I think I said to you guys as soon as I got out of the car, you got to bring this to Washington.
Yes.
And members of Congress need to see it.
Well, it's also a good endorsement for the UTC program because we can and should do a better job of letting folks know what they're getting for that research money.
Yes, and we have a national UTC on safety.
Yep.
There are only 5 such UTCs in the country. We are the only one on safety.
Yeah, I don't know if I said this to you, Peter. I've been saying to everybody on Saturday or Sunday, Brian Williams started to tease this week on NBC, news program. He's talking about autonomous vehicles. People thought it would never happen. Well, states poised to pass a law to make them legal.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think Google has also done a good job of sort of, getting the states excited.
Yep.
Mr. Rogoff, it turns out that their technical lead actually used to be in our team as well. It's kind of a very small world.
Yeah. Several team members there used to be our team members in previous projects.
Wasn't Google involved in the first?
The first one, yes. They were a sponsor.
Because they have 400 or 500 employees at Carnegie Mellon, don't they?
In Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
They moved off of campus because they grew so much.
Yeah.
Really, sort of focused on what I meant before. I kept thinking about as I was driving down 95 over the weekend. You have these parts of the New Jersey Turnpike sort of after you finally got through the horrendous traffic in New York, and it would slow down and it would literally crawl. You even got to some dead stops at points. It had absolutely nothing to do with an accident or an obstruction. It had to do with the flow of traffic. And if you could just solve for that, the whole platooning idea, you could move people like a train.
So far, so good. Talk to him about when it sees construction sites. It visually senses that. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Just sees the increase in signs and knows something's going on.
Well, increasingly also this again this weekend. You get on the map functions. They already know where the construction sites are.
Right.
The states have done a much better job of programming them in.
And that's also a technology we can use. So through 3G, 4G, we can get that kind of information and know about that ahead of time.
I thought about that when you were talking about youth embracing technology. Part of our challenge here is youth embracing technology too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
We had about a year ago or so, my 28-year-old LD came in and said, "We got to do something. These kids are on social media all the time, so we had to put in a rule that you can't be in it all day because they're constantly talking to each other and their productivity is going down." But I also, you know, they say I've emailed them. I've emailed them 3 times. I say, pick the phone up and call them 3 times.
Right.
You know, because an email, heck, you get so many emails in a day. You know, you miss some of them.
Right. Well, but the other thing is the kids picking up the phone.
Right.
My kid, I just dropped him up at summer school in Providence, and I called him a couple of times last night, and it was only when I Skyped him that he actually engaged.
Right. That's what I find out. It's texting now is how we talk.
This technology probably doesn't help with that problem. It's more of an enabler, I think.
Right. No, I thought about that because there's this challenge, you know, in the research about rail accidents. There's a school of thought that we have eliminated the operator of the vehicle to such a degree, really to an excessive degree, such that the operator is not ready to engage when they need to engage.
Right.
And that by itself presents.
Jared, take over if you need to.
So
This is kind of a very crazy sequence of mergers, even for humans.
It tries to find a place to do this.
Changing lane.
See if it can do it. Yeah. Wants to merge over some more here, but
Yeah, take over if need be.
I think I will just help it out a little bit right here. It's a tight window. It's a little too conservative for that.
Yeah, like
kind of driving. Yeah.
accelerating on the 395 is a challenge for everybody.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to do it, and these guys keep shooting by me.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Bringing courtesy back. If somebody sees you're trying to get over,
Yeah.
They speed up.
they speed up and won't let you.
They do, absolutely. Yeah.
Especially when you're in traffic like that.
Autonomous driving.
It wants to do another lane change
It
here.
needs to do the, or it's going to go on main
I
avenue.
didn't realize that.
Hey, need one more lane ahead.
Autonomous
What's
radio.
that?
I'll just take it off there. Yeah,
Autonomous driving.
that's definitely challenging coming out there with such a short runway and so many cars. They actually speed up. I think we would do better if it didn't have the turn signal on.
If you what?
If it didn't turn the turn signal on, it would probably have a better chance. People
I
see
assure
you want to
you,
do the lane change.
I ride this road home every day.
Right.
This is the anomaly, the fact that it used the turn signal.
Again, it's looking at the lines. It
Yes.
senses where the lines are.
Yes. So if you look at the screen, you can see the lane markings being detected. You see there's the dash line on the left,
Right.
and the solid line on the right. So it's able to detect
The yellow lines that you see on the screen.
where they are and also what type of lines they are.
Changing lane.
I imagine one of the challenges is, you face it as a driver, you look up and sometimes you see 3 traffic lights and have to figure out which one is yours.
Right. Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. The nice thing about the computer is it can be very focused, so it can know where all of the cross streets are and where all the traffic lights are, and it doesn't get distracted. I often look, especially around the Capitol, I often look at the wrong light. I'm driving through, I'm looking at the next light, and then I realize that the light in front of me is red. The car is much better at that than I am, actually.
Does the vehicle never exceed the speed limit as a setting?
Right now it's configurable. So you can imagine in your car you might have a set speed or maybe some speed relative to the speed limit.
Right.
But right now what you're seeing is it will not exceed the speed limit.
And how does it know the speed limit?
It knows that we have two technologies. One is map based, so like many navigation systems today, the speed limit information is in the map itself, so it knows that. But we also have capabilities that can read signs. So what you're seeing today is map based.
It is what?
Map based.
Maps.
So it's using
What was the second technology?
using a camera system to actually read the speed limit
Read the
signs.
speed limit signs.
Yeah, that's also a very mature technology. Not quite as robust as maps because of occlusions and things like that. So you're behind a large truck, you just can't see the sign.
That seems that those are simple things like the paint on the road and the signs. Is there a different material that makes it and enhances its ability to read and things like that? I think those are the simple things to figure out.
Well, I mean, it's looking for the lane markings.
Changing lane.
So nice lane markings, nice high contrast reflective paint. It helps the car. So here it's merging in. It's not quite as crazy right here. So
Changing lane.
I don't know.
Autonomous ready.
I thought this guy was gonna hit us. Sorry.
I'm glad you did it.
You,
Yeah.
you do all the interventions you need.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually
Yeah, we have asked him to be safe at all times.
I actually usually worry more about the other cars hitting us than I do
Right.
about us hitting the other
Yeah,
cars.
Yesterday, another guy almost hit us yesterday.
Yeah,
one test
he was just right there, and I guess he got to this point, and maybe we were in this blind spot, and he very quickly just came into the other lane.
This is the way I often come in.
Right.
If Roosevelt Memorial are too bad, you could go through the Pentagon, literally go through the Pentagon parking lot and take that on-ramp that we just took. But then the merge on the 395 is like the demolition derby.
That is about the shortest on-ramp or
Well, it
merge
wasn't
ramp.
intended really for traffic. I'm surprised.
Right.
We test a lot in Pittsburgh, and we have some what I thought was aggressive driving, but when we come here, it's definitely something different. Even when I'm driving, sometimes I can't get in, and I'm not the kind of person who does this just push myself in kind of thing. But it seems that that's the only way to get around sometimes. You have to force people to stop.
Well, and that's obviously the benefit of having all the cars, like, so they're talking to each other, so that,
Yes.
you know, he's not going to hit you and you're not going to hit him, kind of thing.
Right, and they can cooperate with each other in that
Right.
case as well.
It's going to be an interesting dynamic. Fast forward 20 years. Are we requiring that the V2V function be standard on all vehicles, or is this something that individual consumers can pay more for the benefit of? And then what's the benefit if everyone doesn't want to pay? It's a mirror of what's going on with next generation avionics and aviation technology. We have some capabilities. The added cost for equipping an aircraft has been frowned upon by some air carriers, and you only get the full benefits if every aircraft in the sky has it.
Right.
Is our exit closed out there, Rajar?
I can't tell.
What is that?
Yeah, there seems to be some construction. We are supposed to take exit 6. Right there, we see some construction going
I
on.
can't tell. I think it might be after the exit.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think it's after the exit.
In preparation for this, we tried to get an idea of how long it takes to do this, so that we can make sure people aren't waiting for us. We can get you back on time. It is really hard to predict how long it's going to take to do this route.
Well, that's true. The other 6 days of the week.
Yeah. Just this morning, I drove through here, or the car drove through here itself, and the first time it took a really long time to get through. The second time it just zipped right through here. The third time it was I was starting to worry we weren't going to get back in time. It was so bad.
Well, this exit in particular.
Yeah.
is particularly sensitive to when the house is coming in.
Yep.
Okay.
Therefore, when all the staff show
I
up,
see.
how late the staff, because this, you stay to the right, you can take the tunnel over to the Senate. So everyone coming from the Virginia burbs over to the Senate goes that way. They could exit here for the house. Also, DC has the benefit of, in summer weeks, like when roughly 10% of everyone is on vacation in any 1 week, it's dramatically different as far as the traffic density.
And I'll tell you, I've been down, I'm not down here that often on weekends, but there's so many times they have parades, not parades, even runs and walks on Pennsylvania Avenue, and they shut the whole center of the city down.
Because this is another one of those situations where we have to enforce our way.
Yeah, they're good about, putting that up on websites, but you actually have to think to look.
Right, exactly.
One thing that I find really impressive here, we've been driving around, and at night they will pop up like a large construction area between like laps. We'll do this twice, and the next time we come back, they have a large construction, like very active construction zone that they popped up. That's very efficient. At least they do that at night.
Mr. Rogoff, you can see that we actually drove under a tunnel, not a problem. That
Yeah.
on a tunnel, no GPS, right? We can still do it.
You notice that?
Autonomous ready.
Sorry about that.
On the left, right? You want to go in the center lane?
I'm totally capable of doing that on my
Autonomous
own.
driving.
I'm pretty surprised about that.
Was that under the autonomous
Yeah.
function?
Yeah. It's actually one of the more challenging things to perceive, is the curve. But I didn't expect it to do that. Especially a curve like this, it's kind of the same color as the road. It's not very high, so it's hard to detect it.
You'll also have roads that just have that kind of soft curve, where you
So we're doing pretty good on time?
Yeah.
Okay.
11:25. I think the next batch is going to be 11:30.
30,
so
yes,
that's-
yes. The timing's pretty good.
You must be somewhat comfortable. You're comfortable enough to look down, holding on.
I read this while my wife drives.
Peter, we're on camera.
No, it's all right.
Now you're going to be in trouble with your wife and your mother.
No, she reads it while I drive. Literally, when we drive, we try to commute together, and the deal is whoever is most still tethered to their machine, the other one drives.
Okay.
Where does she work?
She's Dick Durkin's LD. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Let's go.
Autonomous ready.
Pull us back in this parking spot.
That's the nice one. For the cyclist without the helmet to go down.
Yeah. And he's gonna go in the parking spot.